Okay, let's do it. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm gonna click that on. Cool. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to I don't know whatever we're doing today. Um, I'm Eric. I'm the cinematographer and editor, and owner of the channel. And yeah, you know what? One of these days, I'm gonna take a day at some point that will never happen. Maybe it'll be my New Year's resolution where I write down what I'm supposed to say at the start of streams and like update my intro so it doesn't say Twitch anymore. Like, who knows? Anyway, welcome welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to editing. We're gonna be in Premiere today. We're gonna be editing doing film editing. We are working on a film currently titled The Magician's Mirror. These things can be kind of nebulous, which is kind of going to be the theme for today. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be starting a rough assembly of it. We've looked at all the footage. This is a film we shot a couple weeks ago. Uh, Looked at all the footage, and we've got a lot of great stuff to work with. So who dares text? Yep. Um, cool. Give me 1 second, guys. Ah, cool. So yes, yes. We looked at the footage. We love the footage. We've got tons and tons of notes from uh, both myself and our director Nora, who hopefully will be joining us in chat and giving feedback. And uh, yeah, so we will. That's kind of a cool thing that we get to have. We'll probably have Nora on with us today, who can give us feedback and talk through some of the decisions. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be working on. Let's go ahead and we'll talk through this. Obviously, yeah, obviously, if you're watching, you're more than welcome to be part of this to converse. Let's see, just coordinating, bringing Nora in. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna start working on this. We're going to, and yeah, we're gonna talk through it. Obviously, as I've said, as I say every time, as I try to say every time, this is an open forum. So please, I do this to pull back the curtain on editing and to talk about the decision-making process that goes into it. Um, So, by all means, ask questions, have comments, give feedback. If you have awesome work of yours that you want to share, please, by all means, throw it out there. And yeah, not only do I do this because I enjoy it and because I think it's an important thing for me to do, but I also love that I get to share this with people and that it can be something closer to a dialogue. Sure, as close as we can get. Uh, yep. Okay. Let me shoot the link for us over to Nora, and we will be all set. Once YouTube stops trying to get me to buy YouTube Premium. And boom. Cool. All right. Yep. So as always, feel free to comment. Feel free to give your reactions as well. I cannot. I'm trying to. I would love to put my phone. Oh, there we go. Cool. So Nora's going to be joining us in a second, which is awesome. And that's an email. Awesome. Cool. 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 All right, and hey, Michael, good to have you on. I don't know if that Nora. I'm not sure if that is that you or is on Michael's account or is Mike joining us too? Because either one is totally awesome. Um, if it is Nora, great. If it's Michael, you can you hang out with us, and then once you clean up, you can leave. Uh, inside jokes. I don't know why I do them in public. Also, real quick shout out Evelyn and Mia. If you're watching, hi. You guys are my favorites. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into Premiere. Here we go. Okay. So, yeah, here's here's what we got. We've got the opening sequence, which I'm just gonna kind of quickly run through with our magician uh, producing where is it? Let's see. It's the first shot. What am I talking about? Yes, he's producing this little magic coin here, and then he promptly, uh, and then it disappears, and unlike most magic tricks, it does not come back. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. Hey Nora. Uh, so yeah, so that's that first scene where it's at assembly wise. So let's uh, amazing, absolutely amazing. Tell Michael I said hi. Um, okay, that got bitter. All right, so I was doing a little bit of work on the martini scene, but now that I've got Nora here, I think let's see. I think there's other cool stuff we can work on. Let's jump over to the workroom and go to our markers because that's how I organize. So yes, in here we've got all the footage. Let's see, what scene should we work on? Let's see. The kind of fun thing about this movie is that it's a story of it's a story of a magician who is slowly succumbing to some kind of dementia, Alzheimer's, some kind of something there. So it's a story about memory, it's a story about being lost, it's a story about searching. And so yeah, a lot of this is going to end up being very very nebulous and very kind of there's not really a there's a set order for how the movie should go, but it's uh not necessarily exact. You know what? Let's work on. There's one shot I want to put in because I know I want to put it in here, and then we're gonna work on the smoke and pictures scene, which is an early scene. Uh, by the way, if I haven't properly introduced her, Nora, under the alias Michael Brown, is our director and our writer, so she will be coming in with feedback and thoughts throughout this. Uh, that's later stuff. Something that feels like a later shot to me. Couldn't tell you why. Uh, Shot a bunch of B-roll, which I'm just scrubbing through real quick because I want to see what. I'm trying to toe the line between what are we but like between this apartment we filmed in is a phenomenal location. It is like it is gorgeous. It's complex. It's got so much going on in it, and let's see what's that? That's the martini scene. And paste. I I like part of me wants to. I'm very curious once we finish this film what people are going to say about the or what it's like. There we go. How disorienting it's going to be with yeah, how disorienting it's going to be to understand the layout of the place. And I'm trying to give enough information that it seems intentional, but not enough for it to be for you to obviously get a good handle on it. Okay, so I'm gonna take the second half of this shot because I don't need much of it. Um, let's cut that. Let's drop this over here because it's might use it later. All right. So for most of these shots, let's go ahead and save again. Um, so for a lot of the B-roll, something we did because we want to give this kind of a weird effect on it. We want to give kind of a an unsettling feeling to some of this. Is we shot it in. Yeah, let me do this. Let me do this another way. Uh, we shot it in slow motion and in reverse, with the idea that let's stabilize this one. Uh, yeah, with the idea that we'd flip it around and kind of because you walk like as a camera operator, you walk differently going forwards and backwards. So uh, if we shoot something backwards and then walk it, and then or shoot something walking backwards and then play it forwards, it's going to look a little bit strange, a little bit off, and that will be unsettling in a subtle way. Same with the slow mo. Gotcha. Hey, welcome Nora. Nora has pulled off the Michael Brown mask to reveal her true self. Uh, all right, so let's look at this scene while this thing is stabilizing down there. And this is the scene of our magician Clark and uh, his kind of reminiscence. All right, so we pulled out some shots that we like. A little bit of magic. Okay, I'm going to separate these a little bit. This was the shot. This was the wide that we liked. It's the wide of the ending. And a little bit of B-roll. We love that shot. We know we do. I don't think we need those. Cool. All right, so now Nora, in our rough plan, this shot's coming in pretty. This scene's coming in pretty early. And I remember us going back and forth about do we start with a wide, do we start with a close up? Let's clean off. Let's trim off the. Let's clean out. Let's clean off the fronts and ends of these shots that we're going to use.
Cut. And rolling camera.
This actor Aiden, who we were working with, was absolutely phenomenal. Nora, it's fun working with you where you get to. Um,
Camera rolls.
yeah,
Shot
I agree.
C, take one.
I'm on the fence about this.
And frame.
We also have a medium here, which we could duck into.
Cut.
Yeah, one of the things I like, I love about working with Nora is that a lot of other directors make big deals about yelling
Shot C,
action,
take two.
uh, and Nora is
And
just.
frame.
I don't even think I'm hearing her say action. I don't even think it's registering on uh online or on stream because it's just she's so quiet and gentle with it. It's fantastic. Like yeah, just if you're a director who wants to give actors a safe space, yeah, this is it's a very good way to like good found basic block to do it. Um, yeah, okay, so concept wise, we have like we got the opening scene here. Then we've got some wandering shots and some shots of him searching, but I don't think anything that's okay, we're stabilizing. Excellent. I don't think anything that's. So what's this look like now if I play it? Oh, that's good. That's creepy. A bit of a weird wobble there, but that's pretty. It's buttery smooth. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna trim off. I want this to start mid movement. I'm gonna trim it off right about. Let's play it. About there. Let's delete that. Yeah, that feels cool. Um, feels like we're winding our way through this. Uh, cool. All right, let's save, and let's go ahead and do a real quick. I gotta nest this in another clip because let's see, hallway at door. Just call it that. Okay. We gotta nest this because you can't stabilize and do speed on the same clip. That's a Premiere thing. So now, if I can get this to play, yeah, it's gonna be a little skippy for a bit, but yeah, we're now going forward in a stabilized way, so we can use that. But anyway, going back to the smoke scene and making this decision. We've got these shots where he is, uh, like we got this close up of him, and then we go to the, then we go to the title, then we go to wide shots of him searching. Uh, Hello, Shelby Lynn. Glad you joined us. Even briefly. Yeah, so then we go to the title card. We go to shots of him searching, which as I recall are going to be. I don't think we're going into close up there. We've got a close up for later in the movie when he's searching for what may or may not be a ringing phone. Um, but I don't think we're in close up there. So there's something to be said, I think, for starting this in close. Also, um, this actually might be a good thing, a good way to kind of like a good thing to do for us going forward is like starting with a close up, we don't get a sense of stability. We don't know where we are in a close up. All we know is we're with him, and that for a character who is unsure of how he gets to places, starting in close, I think makes sense on as a almost as a rule for the film. Uh, with the exception of the opening scene, because yeah, we can use close up, medium, and wide as metaphors for control or as visual representations of control or of not so much control but of how centered in his space he is. That could work really well. Uh, See, this is um, so here's the thing. Uh, if you're if you're a cinematographer out there, that is the kind of thought you ideally want to be having during production, like or during pre-production, to figure that out. Um, if you like this project came together very quickly, so we had a very abbreviated pre-production schedule, so we didn't have a whole lot of time to discuss shots and themes and style. A lot of that was done on the day. So when uh and kind of done yeah done on the day and kind of discovered together because that was the stated goal of this movie. But uh in doing that as a cinematographer, if you're like, all right, we don't have a very specific clear shooting style and rules we're going to follow, that's when you start shooting coverage. And that's what we did here. We shot for almost every scene. We shot, wide, medium, and close. There we go, and close. Uh, so that gives us, yeah, wide, medium, and close, which gives us. Now we come up we hit this idea of like, oh, we should start in close-ups because we don't know where we are at first, and then go wide, and now we have the ability to do that because we covered ourselves. Uh, so let's look at these two close-ups. I'm gonna take the grid off the screen. It's not really helping us right now. Yeah, no, or we might only go to the wide at the very end of this scene. All right, second one. We're gonna cut through these. that could be our cut back to back to the close up. Oh, but man, those eyes. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So, uh, yes, yeah. No, there's definitely a bit of a lag coming across. Just yeah, working with the speed of the internet. So let's push this back. But yeah, nice to not have to deal with sound. All the sound is going to be replaced by our excellent sound editor who we have. Let's go ahead and delete that, which means we're going to be editing. Uh, yes, let's see. Let's grab the shot of the magic ball because I know we have that. That's this one? Cool. Yeah, we're certainly going to use this shot. Let's go ahead and cut that and bring it over to the front. Paste. Let's get the audio out of this.
And action. Action.
The reason you're hearing me say action there is because this is technically an insert shot, and Nora is a very generous director who uh, doesn't mind me kind of taking the helm on shots that are this kind of thing. There's some fun with reflections in it, but I might do a brief edit on this shot just to show how you do it. But okay, so okay, I think I'm gonna keep the sound in here for now. Actually, hang on a sec. Let me copy this. Let's see this to make this to work. There we go. These are both relinked. Good. Now paste. Perfect. I love that I can do that. I love that that sheet actually works. Thank you, Premiere. Cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep the camera sound in here for now, just so Andy, our editor, has something to work with. Okay. We're also intentionally kind of going from day to night in weird ways in this movie. Time is complete gibberish. It's kind of the point. So he reaches over, put a cut there. I'm not sure if we're gonna start. Not sure when we're gonna start this, but I know we're gonna end it. So goes to that. Put something there. And even though you can't really see, and I'm gonna put a cut in here early on so you see the pictures in his hands, so you kind of know what's up, at least know what he's playing with. But for now, make sure I cut on movement. So the picture gets in there. He's gonna give me a couple frames without his hand in there. And then touch the ball, and that might be able to get. He's gonna get my cut out of here. Close up there. All right, cool. Let's do a real quick tutorial here on a real quick thing on just masking. Because, yeah, we got a bit of a, you can't really tell without a color grade on here, but there is, let's see if I zoom in a bit, 50%. Yeah, if I zoom in here, you can sort of see it. I mean, those are definitely reflections of the lights, and right in the middle there is a reflection of me, which we ideally don't really want in the movie. So, here's how we do that. We're going to duplicate the clip, Actually, no, we can't. If I just pull this away, I'm going to duplicate the clip. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to delete that. We just need the video. We need the video layered on top of each other, just like that. Uh, we're then going to do a mask, and basically just going to mask out everything that's not him. So down here, across here, up here, and this does not have to be exact. Well, it's got to stay on the wall. Stay on the wall. Okay. This is that was your 243 bad pun for the day. Cool. So we'll do a mask there, and of course you can't really tell there's a mask there because it doesn't really do anything yet. But if I put a blur, let's use a camera blur because I like that. It gives me a little bit of mimicking of a lens. All right. 25% is too much. We're gonna bring that down just a bit. Yeah, down to about 5. That's actually probably even more than I need. Let's go to 3. There we go. If I zoom back into 50%, yeah, you can't see. You still see the glow of the lights, but you don't see me. And now let's fix that harsh edge on the mask. We're going to go to our mask. We're going to go to feathering. Feather that up a bit. And if we go to fit, oop, back to the scene we're supposed to be working on, please. Thank you. And so if I take this mask off, it's very subtle, but it blurs out just enough to not have to worry about me showing up in there. That's about 5. There we go. Cool. And now I can just save this. Do the same thing with the second shot. Delete that. Go up here. I'm going to copy that clip, and then we're going to paste the attributes. Camera blur, don't need motion, and opacity. Uh, Evelyn, we're editing a movie about magic. Clearly, I know magicians. I know things. That's how I knew. The magicians told me. Yeah, same thing here. We've just copied that same mask in so that, yeah, it's same kind of effect. Cool. All right, awesome. All right, so by doing this, we're slowly opening his world up. We're gonna stay in the close for a sec. Let's go to our second close up here because this starts with the pictures, and I like this. Okay, I like him flipping through photos. I like him bringing that first one down. About there. That didn't work that way. All right, so let's go ahead and take that little clip, undo that. Oh, Evelyn, if you think magicians talk too much, you're gonna love this movie. This guy has like barely says anything. It's almost a silent movie. Well, that's not true. There's a big voiceover we haven't touched yet, which we might use. We don't know. Nora, we didn't talk about the voiceover. Do you have any thoughts on that? There we go. He kind of gives us a moment of stillness so we can put this in. time there. First cut of the movie, go too long. Let everything run too long. There we go. Looks good. Yeah, I like how that looks. Yeah, no, it's kind of my thought on the voice. Every time I think of it, I'm like, oh right, we have that. We might use it. Not that it's bad. Just yeah, does it? Is this a story that's better told almost entirely visually? That's I honestly don't know yet. We're gonna discover it. It's still bitter, and I'm still drinking it. Okay, good. So let's go back to our first close up here, where he is, because this one we see him doing that, and this shot might be worth keeping for that moment. But let's look here. There he is. Yeah, it's a good point. A lot of times voiceovers are done in post, like entirely in post. Um, sometimes, and a lot of times that like it really helps. Sometimes it doesn't. Hashtag original theatrical cut of Blade Runner. Um, but that was not for an artistic reason. That was because the studio thought the movie was too complicated and no one would get it. So they made Harrison Ford record a voiceover that he clearly hates, and that was the beginning of Harrison Ford hating his acting career. Oh yeah, second half of that is so much better. Okay, so he brings his hand in his hands. Oh, there we go. This is the thing I tried to. This was a fun movie to shoot with lighting wise because there was so much we could do with it in kind of a subtle and then later very unsubtle way, which we'll get to. Um, so then he looks back at the other photos. Let's get that. So he's admiring this one. Looks back at the others. That's all we need there for this moment. Oop, wrong thing. Let's cut this one and paste this in here. We're gonna split this one in half, I think. Yeah, we'll just start with do the smile first, and then we'll let the smile fade. Okay, so, uh, but anyway, Nora, thank you for reminding me. One of the thing where I was going with that was we like typically underlighting is used as a scary thing for the most part. Um, that's not a complete rule, it's kind of a general thing, but like usually when you're doing like a yeah, scary story kind of thing, that's usually when you're underlighting. Um, and I kind of found moments to underlight a little bits of this movie when sort of spooky things or weird or kind of there was some uncomfortability going on. Uh, and this is a scene. This is a scene where we did some underlighting. There's another like just you can see like his collar's lit, his chin, like you can see his neck. Like it's not all overlighting. We underlit. You don't see it reflected here. This little white there is a bounce card. We're bouncing light up underneath him. But uh, that's for this scene that we wanted it to feel a little less theatrical and a little more. I think I'm gonna change what my cut is here. I do kind of like him. So he puts it there. Then we can trim a little bit of this off, kind of that. I don't know if I know if I need to see his hand come in. I think I can just do it with like him just like that. Let's try that. Nope. Just delete the right thing, please. What I can go ahead and do is group these so they all stick together. So do that. Let's get to the end of this clip. Now we'll extend. Now we'll cut. Let's put this back. Take a little bit of the ending here. Ah, these are all. Right, let's ungroup these. Cool, so we can delete that. Regroup this. Grouping and linking, slightly different things and slightly, don't always work the same. Let that sadness hit him. Yeah, that little smile is so great. And part of me wanted, and like my original thought was go to the smile, go to this, go back and see the smile drop. But I kind of love seeing the smile here in its entirety because you see it happen, and then within a second you see it drop. And seeing it all in one shot really, I think, works. Let's go ahead and trim that off there. Don't need much of that. Let's trim that off. Delete. This little pullback of his neck is a good indication of what he's doing there. So we'll delete that. Yeah. One of the thing about editing that I think is more important than almost anything else I've ever learned is cut on movement. And it does not, in some ways, it does not matter what the movement is, as long as you were cutting on movement. There's the pictures dropping. I think there's another, there might have been another take where we did that with the pictures dropping that worked really well. But yeah, cutting on movement, even if it's not exactly the same movement, even if it's like having some movement between cuts, uh, is is excellent. Okay, here we go. Let's get him holding these. Sort of follow them. And this is gonna be another cut on movement here because it's in a different way. So we're gonna take that shot, which I'm not using most of that clip. I'm just using that one bit because it works well. It works well as a cut. That's the beginning. Here's the end. I want to check something because this moment right here works really well, and this is the struggle with this movie is going to be making sure that it comes across that any jumps in continuity or jumps in time come across as intentional. Now, this is a movie where time is. Okay. Yeah, this is a movie where time is like. Was it that's the Tarkovsky quote that film is about sculpting in time, and this is a movie where we are sculpting an abstract statue. So this is allowed to be weird. Um, that's the medium. Uh, yeah. So the question is like we got to find a way to make sure that the that the cuts come across even when we have little jumps. And I'll talk about this in a sec. There's a shot that I may cut to where you see his hand in one shot and the next shot his hand's up here, and that looks like in other movies would be a continuity error if we were going for traditional editing, but this is a little different. So just the question of does that seem like an intentional, like, does that make sense emotionally, or does that seem like a mistake? Um, but before I do that, I might not even need to use that clip immediately because we've got. I feel confident we can go to a medium now. Uh, okay, that's different, so we didn't do that. So let's go to this medium. Just looking for the ending here. Man, he does the same thing in every take. That's fantastic. Or same basic stuff and then tweaks it a little bit. Nope, wrong thing. But let's drop. Nope. Can I hit the right button, please? There we go. Thank you. You know what? I don't think I want to do that. I like the idea of cutting to the medium because now we've established a little more of what's going on. But honestly, his performance is so good in the close-up. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with this one. Why am I? I'm not even thinking about it. Hey, Maria Lisa. Maria Lisa joining us from the other side of the wall. So, welcome to the stream. Uh, let's see. Nope, all good. So, yeah, let's see. Something I like about this, and like, uh, don't saying that in a public forum. Don't let your employer know that don't let your employer ever read this chat. Um, but okay. Anyway, something I like about this is like we did an insert of the pictures hitting the ground, and I'm kind of against using it because I like the idea that we kind of drop them and they're out of frame and they're forgotten, like they just stopped existing. Let's save. I think my resting positions on my control panel here is the save button. I'm like that's. You can tell I've been using Premiere for a while. Okay, I like that. I like that he's kind of yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna take this clip, which I don't think I want to use. Let me watching. I don't think we're gonna. The thing I love about this shot, Nora, you can. I'm sure you'll weigh in. Is I love like even though the focus gets a little soft at the beginning and we kind of rack into him, like the tears in his eyes are so good, and just like he feels lost in that moment. And I really love that. Like this shot I like as well because I can see him thinking more. I can see him like this feels like acting choices. This feels lost, and that's great. And like they both have their spot, but I think I want to go with the tears are making me feel something. So that's kind of where I want to go with it. Um, unless you throw a comment on me and tell me otherwise, I'm gonna do with that for the current take, for the current cut. All right. So now here's the thing that I know coming into these shots. Uh, yeah, the softness kind of it brings us in. It's a him. It's half of filmmaking, half of storytelling is coming up with good ideas. The other half is explaining why your mistakes are actually brilliant. Um, yeah, I can justify this rack focus apart from the fact that it's a rack focus in a movie which exists. But yeah, it's him reconnecting with or him sort of coming in and out of a fog. We can live with that. We didn't do a whole lot with focus in this movie in terms of we did a little bit with like focus being soft in certain spots, but for the most part, we didn't make focus a big symbolic thing, which is fine. Okay, now here's what I know. First of all, I can clear out a lot of this. We don't need this stuff. We don't need this. We've gotten through part one of the scene. Gonna keep the ending of this one just in case. Gotten through part one. That don't need that. Part two, different stuff. Don't. That's all. Those are the first couple takes. We're not using them because we know because the movement was different. Um, oh, bit of advice to any cinematographers who might end up watching or directors. Um, So I know traditional coverage is wide, medium, close up, so that the actor's a chance to build up to the emotions, and you're not starting in a close up to make them, jump into that headspace immediately. Um, a suggestion I have after shooting this movie and playing with it is shoot another wide at the end. Shoot wide, medium, close. Let the actor build into that. Get your wide to kind of establish movement, and then come back into another wide at the end. Because any of the decisions that the actor thought of in their close up, when they got deep into that headspace, there's things that they're gonna connect with. And giving them the opportunity for another wide shot, you're gonna have a wide shot that gives you a lot more than the first one did usually. Unless you do a ton of rehearsal, that's also an option. But still, shooting extra wide shot at the end I think is a good idea, and it's not super hard to do. It's a fun little shot you can play with. Okay, so we use that. Came down to this. We use that shot. And then we land on that poster, which we don't need.
Frame.
Okay, so we can delete that. This is that medium that I don't really think we need it. Okay, but here's what I know. I know there's a second part of this scene where a little bit of magic happens. Um, which let me know if on stream you can see what that looks like, because we had some discussions on set about how if this effect was visible enough. So yeah, let me know if you weren't on set, weigh in and tell me what you're seeing. But I know we're gonna have to get to a close up. Um, so which means okay, we don't need those shots. We know we don't need those. Uh,
Which is close up part two, take three. And
Let me check my notes here. Uh, okay. So we pulled up. So we have the wide shots here that we liked. We got a little bit of B-roll, which I don't know if we need. Yeah, the shot was the better one, so we can go ahead and get rid of that.
insert B roll, take one.
Maybe use some B-roll in there. This is our wide shot. Again, doing a wide shot at the end, letting the whole thing run. Okay, so here's what we got. We got a bunch of
Which is
close-ups.
close up part two, take one. And frame.
If I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at Nora's notes.
And rub more furiously. And Rachel, go ahead with the light.
We're using this one. I gotta check one thing. This is gonna sit with me for a moment. Let me check this. Smoking Pictures is one of the later ones. Here it is. These are mediums. Hello, Maria Elise is in the room, everybody. Huh? Yeah, there she is.
Hi, peoples.
A second ago you were one of the peoples. You've been upgraded to streaming star. Uh, and aw, I have a candy corn. Yes, and
They won't stay there.
no, he will not stay here. He is but more nutritious than that most candy corn, and you can stand him for longer. So glad he's here. He's gonna help us edit. Sit there and give me your thoughts. Squeaky? That's fair. Yeah. If candy corn could talk, it would squeak. What are we on about on this stream today? There we go. That little bit of an ending might be exactly what we need because I know we've got to cut to. Let's see. Um, I know we've got to cut to a close up for the next bit. So having a bit of a medium and with the scene's in two parts. We got part yeah. There's two parts to it. There's part yeah the first half and the second half, and there's a distinct difference between the two in a way. So going a little wide, also to kind of show us what we've learned so far is is a good idea. So once he puts his hand down, just that little bit.
Cut. Cut.
Uh,
Cut.
Also, real quick to any actors who are watching, this thing that Aiden does here, I absolutely love, and he did this throughout the entire shoot. Let's link this back up. Um, is he, for the most part, unless there was a shot that like was physically strenuous to do, um, he he like even if we called cut, he would not break character until we started moving and talking, until we indicated as a crew that we're gonna move on to the next thing or that we have stopped rolling. He stayed in character, which is good because now I can use this last what is this half a second if that. Oh no, take it back. That's like a full second and a half. We can use that whole last little bit. Um, uh, in the scene now, and that's gonna give us just a little bit more to cut to because we didn't call cut and he didn't immediately go, okay, what's next? Just work on the lighting there. It's a little bit. That's a softer light than that, so we're gonna work on that. But that's a different thing. Nope. I want to put a cut there and then delete. I might take this out. I might tweak this bit, but I know we're gonna want to go to a close up. So, and I know there's a need for a beat in here. There is a beat in here. The beat already exists. Then the question is how much of it do we need to visually display? And the answer is that much. So let's go ahead and pull this back because I know I'm going to use that shot. And now let's look at our close-ups. Um, let's see. Nora's notes on here say, let's see. So first one was good. Uh, Second one, this text. Okay. Um, so yeah, so second one said great flourish, good but awkward. And the hand position was a little bit awkward. Third one is good. Says and its fourth take says good end and something else that I cannot read. Uh, which Nora, like that's not a shot at you. If the positions were reversed and you were reading notes that I had written, you would understand none of it. None of it. Likely. I don't know. My handwriting's atrocious. I like the little blow he does.
And cut.
Cut. Rolling camera. Shot D. Take, I think this is 4. And frame.
And
As much as I can, I want to keep this as a single take, if possible, because there's a. Nora, your handwriting is fantastic. Uh, as much as I can, I want to keep this as a single
Rachel.
take, just because. Cool. Um,
And
Mostly because I like to
Rachel
keep all
out.
the little bits of magic we do. I like to keep it in camera as much as I can. That is a really good ending.
cut
Cut.
for it.
Cool. I like that. Let's look at. All right. Nora, I agree with you. I like the ending there. I definitely like the ending of that. Once he puts his hand down, because we are going to cut to a wide. That's the moment here is when we get to the wide, and he kind of. It's I love what we can do here because we can cut to the. Um, yeah, no, we're gonna cut to the wide somewhere in the middle of that effect, and then come and then end it in a close up because yeah, that wide shot just get
And
it's
Rachel out.
that we're gonna see it twice. The first time we see it, it's gonna be like, aha, it's this is every sort of everything working, and this is him like back in control of his world. And then the second time we see it, it's gonna be him isolated in a place that doesn't accept him. And I love that we can do both of those just with the only change being his performance. Scene that's coming after this, just so I know. Oh, the martini scene. Oh, plus maybe a little bit of wandering. Okay, cool.
And cut.
Okay.
And Rachel out.
All right, I want this to cut on the last time that light kind of comes across him, kind of halfway through it. Like that. There we go. Cool. So we're going to use that clip. That'll either be our complete ending or our second to last shot. So let's find our best one. Which is probably almost definitely take 2 or 3. So let's watch these.
Frame.
Actually, let's watch take 3 because take 3 is the one that's labeled as
Roll
good.
camera. Shot D, which is close up part 2. Take 3. And frame.
And action. And take a little joy in this.
Should we reset? Let's reset.
Sure, let's reset. Yeah, on this take a little joy in all of it. Even it not working.
I think you'd be frustrated if it not working.
Turning this up so you can hear us
Well,
talking.
the
Joy comes from the smoke.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
not
sure, but
working.
even just doing the trick, I think the fact that you're doing
Maybe
it at
don't
all.
smile, but yeah, you have flair.
Maybe a little joy until it doesn't work.
And that's the collaborative nature of filmmaking with Nora.
Still rolling. Frame.
And action.
rolling. Frame.
And action.
Frame.
It's more than I need, but I'm gonna get it anyway. You spike the lens a little bit.
Rachel. And off.
Okay. Oh, something about that ending is heartbreaking to me, though.
Rachel. And off. Off.
This might end up being dependent. Uh, yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think that take works for the thing, the actual smoke. It might work for the ending, though. Uh, cool. Okay. So let's look at take two.
And frame.
And action.
Love that flourish. Hey, Shelby Lynn, welcome back. I actually like that one.
And Rachel. And can you produce more smoke?
Shelby Lynn, we know we're not like building fences just creates more divides and barriers. Why would you be fence building? That sounds like a that sounds like a very divisive way to spend your time. Uh, See, there we go. I'm just saying. Like, don't build fences. Good fences make for disconnected neighbors. That said, I'm very much aware why you're building a fence on the ranch that you're living on. So, I'm if the teasing wasn't apparent.
I think that's good, Rachel. Thank you.
I like that. I think there's just I may have to cheat this one a little bit.
And Rachel.
Okay, let's see. It's such a long. We're only gonna be able to use part of it. Like that's definitely true. Uh, so let's start by cutting that off. Let's start with this here. The hand comes up. Keeps doing it until it's like before it starts fading. Let's start with that. Let's paste this one in as a possible option. Paste. I'm gonna take a look at the first take as well. Because the only thing I don't like about this take is that he starts and stops, and then the spotlight comes in, and I want that to happen sooner. Um, so take one. Let's take a look. There's something about that.
And rub more furiously.
Okay. I like both takes one and two.
Rachel out.
Let's go back and watch takes 3 and 4 again.
Sure, but even
But yeah, you have flair.
Maybe a little joy until.
Okay, that's the reset. That's fine.
and action.
Yeah, a bit of a focus issue on a lens spike. Let's look at take 4.
D take. I think this is 4.
And action.
Rachel.
All right, we're gonna have to have a cut in here somewhere. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, I just want to see it get started in the close. No, I agree. I agree with you. Once we're gonna add a little smoke to the wide, and that'll help. Um,
Rachel. Thank you.
which is the fact I might be able to add in today. Maybe I'll finish with doing once I finish this scene. I'll add in that effect. Actually, might be the best one there. Trim this back.
Shot D, close up part two. Close up part two. Take two.
Let's see what we've got in the wide, because the wide might cover this if he gets that smoke to start. Okay, let's see. I don't think that one's the one. Let's put that over here in the RHSC. Let's go to the first cut. So that actually might be a spot for B-roll. Give me a sec. That works. Okay, let's take that. This is why you shoot inserts, everybody. Because inserts help cover up stuff. Ah, sadly, I don't have a clipboard in here that I can paste in multiple things. Spot there, paste. Trim that back a bit, come in here. Let's say unlink that, extend it. Go a little more into that. Delete, delete. Enigmatic Clark. There we go. Cutting on movement, that works. There we go. Get a little bit of magic to happen. Good. Definitely want to see it happening in this shot. I think you can see a little bit of it. There we go. Enough to register that it's happening. I'm going to put a cut there. I don't know if I'm going to keep this or not. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop it down here. I'm going to put it up here. We'll see. We'll figure out timing in a sec. I'm just going to disable it. Nope. Come on. All right. Let's go to our. We've got two great endings here. Let's go to our wide.
Take one.
that. Yeah, ideally I'd want the spotlight to come in just like a little bit on the close and then go to the wide. And I may be able to pull that off with some clever just color grading, but we will see. I think I probably can pull that off, but for now, we're going to do this.
And Rachel.
There we go. I'm going to bring this wide in a little bit. I'm going to go to 125. Actually, that's too much. Let's go to 118. Crop this up a little bit. Pull it over. There we go. So our eyes are here on his hand, and then yeah, our eyes are still on him.
Rachel, stop.
Okay, so as soon as we stop that, that's going to be the second half of the shot. This one we're going to absolutely reset the position, and we want to go all the way wide there. But here, yeah, Nora, I'm also in love with the spotlight. It is one of the few. This is me growing as a filmmaker. It's one of the times I'm like, this is an abstract like decision that I think is the meaning is perfectly clear, which makes me very happy as an artistic collaborator with you. And plus, sound and music will be super huge. Go. That. I'm gonna cut this off here, but I'm gonna do the same thing. Pop this up and down, and then disable because I'm. This is gonna be one where you have to really figure out the timing. Uh, as I. Okay, let's look at end as we get closer to the end. I'm like, oh, this movie's 200 minutes long. Let's shorten. I hear you. So let's take that to. Reset. What is it? 1080. Do that. If I go to 1080. Yeah. Eyes are here on the hand and on the smoke, and then the cut takes us there. We bring it. We bring our hands. Bring it up there. Cool. Yeah, Nora, that's the right call. Cool. I'm gonna copy that. I'm going to paste. Not opacity, just motion. Just motion. Thank you. Okay. So that now has the same if we end up using it. I'm gonna do something interesting. I'm gonna speed this up by like a factor, like 10%. Things I can do to make the moments that are like this a little bit different. Back. Okay. We got several moments in the movie that have kind of a an artistic abstraction to them, and I kind of want to find the moment to like bring those in a little bit. Okay. Let's look at our endings here.
And Rachel out.
That's the other thing I gotta do is I gotta find if we're gonna use this as the ending. Gonna cut this off when the light is coming across his face, right about there. No, just that part. Thank you. That's what I gotta do. All right. Cool. So then we go to our close-ups here.
And Rachel out. And Rachel out.
The question here is just which ending makes me feel more. Sounds good.
Off.
Start of the this one.
off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's that one for me. Uh, that little that little blow he does at the end is just it's so good. So paste. In hindsight, I do kind of want to see him lose this a little bit in the close-up if I can. Let's see if I pull this back a bit. What do we get?
And off.
There. Good.
And off.
Yeah. Let me look at our wide here to finish this up. He did the blow in this one too, which is even better. Because now we can, yeah, let his hand drop. Let him just be there.
And cut.
Yeah, we don't need a ton of that. We just need to emphasize the isolation. Beautiful. Uh, you know what I'm gonna try? I'm gonna try putting a tiny bit of a zoom on this. Just the tiniest bit. We're gonna, let's see, we're gonna lock into that. I'm gonna put this at, I'm gonna start this at 108. Let the position just sort of there, and yeah, we got space for that. Yeah, we got plenty of space. Cool. Because that would give this scene a bit of a different tone. Just a little bit of a zoom. I did, Nora, I agree with you. Yeah, we'll see what the cut is. The next scene listed in here is the martini scene, which would be a wide, uh, probably. We don't really have a close to that. We got a medium and a wide.
And off.
Cool, save. So that's assuming we don't cut to B-roll or something. I don't know. There's something about that isolation there that I do like. Yeah, I'm on the fence about it. That's a decision we're gonna have to talk about in terms of how does it is it does is it more effective? There's something I kind of like about starting close and ending wide, just because it's such a that like I mean not that this is by any means a typical rule, but like in the most standard film ever made, that's a fun. I should start using that as a concept. Then in the most standard film ever made, you start in the wide. You start wide and you move in close. So starting close and kind of moving out wide. Uh, I think there's something to that, but again, it's not a huge artistic flourish. So we can, yeah, it's not like oh that's the linchpin of the scene. Like the scene works because of how good this performance is and how well directed it is. Okay, so the only thing I want to add is a little bit of the smoke in the wides. Let's see if we can do that real fast right now. Uh, so everybody please hold for a sec while I import some graphics into my graphics folder. I'm going to throw the Be Right Back screen on just so I know I'm importing from the right spot. Okay, cool. I'll still talk for a sec. This is there we go. Nope, wrong file. Cool. All right, I'm going to come back to the stream. Um, so here's kind of my presets and editing extra stuff. Let's see, where's VFX assets? The action pack, the action pack. There we go. Jeez, guys, keep it up. All right, smoke. Got a bunch of smoke going to import all these wisps. Importing wisps. And I'm going to do a folder for them. We're going to sort everything by name, please. Thank you. Take all them. Take all my wisps, put them in a folder. We're going to call them smoke. Sweet. So now we just get to sit here and watch a bunch of smoke clips. So let's watch some. Okay, that's small. I think there were some of these that kind of lingered. I'll check. Nah, these are more lower pops. I think there was at least one or two that kind of hangs out, but that might be in the wrong folder. Let's see. And for everyone who's wondering, visual effects it's a lot of this. It's a lot of, okay, we have a bunch of, we got a bunch of assets. Let's just combine all of them. These are all looking like they're not going to be super helpful. Okay, so let's delete them. Let's bring in some more. So I'm going to bring in all these because I don't know exactly how useful they are. And then, actually, I think that's where I want to be. Let's see. Debris, dirt, dust, fire, glass, muzzle, particles, powder, smoke charges. Smoke charges, I think were bigger. Let's bring them in as well. We'll take a look at everything. All right, so the smoke charges are going to be, now these are going to be more, those are explosions with smoke. Yeah, everybody needs a quiet bomb going off. We got those. Let's go back to this. All right, so dark smoke is not just black. You can sort of see it. Puffy smoke. It's the right idea, just too much of it. Puffy smoke number 2. Same thing, right idea, too much of it. Let's look at these. These are probably where I want to be. There we go. Little bits of smoke. That's ongoing. Let's take a look at smoke number 2. That one's pretty elaborate, but that might work. Let's look at smoke 3. I think 3's. Yeah, that's where we want to be. Okay, so we're going to delete these. 1, 2, and 3 are gone. Let's try smoke 3. So we're going to go ahead and drop. So we're going to drop this in here. And the great thing about this is these files are rendered with what's called an alpha channel. Basically, if you know photography, if you know like graphic design, like a JPEG will have a baked-in background. A JPEG will have a baked-in white or black. If you don't put anything there, it'll bake it in. A PNG will have that transparent background, so you can kind of layer it into stuff. This is the same kind of thing. An alpha channel will an alpha channel will hide the the background. So while we watch it here, it's got a black background. When I import it, it's right in the middle there with nothing. Okay. So obviously, okay, so we only need it for the wide. So yes, we only need it for the wide, so we can pull that back. We're gonna do a bunch of different things to this. And it's kind of fun that we can do this in Premiere. All right, so step 1, we're gonna make it smaller. It is too big. Step 2, we're gonna put it in a rough place, which will be up here and up here. Still too big. We're gonna go even smaller. We're gonna go down to 30%. That's better. Now we're going to zoom in to 50%. And up here, this will be the last thing we do for today's little adventure. All right, so we'll bring this down. Now I'm going to hide, I'm going to mask this. I'm going to hide, there we go, the top and bottom of it behind his hand. So if I let this play now, it looks like this. There we go. Cool. That's pretty good. Gonna have to track some motion on it a little bit, but not too much. Let's see. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna unlock the uniform scale and let the scale height be a little taller. It'd be nice if I was doing that on the right clip. That'd be a good start. Let's unlock that. Set that to 30 as well. And extend the height just a bit to give us a little more wispiness. Yeah, let's go to 42. Cool. So we're gonna pull this up again like that. It can be a little distorted. It's an effect. All right. Now let's do an ellipse mask. Actually, no. Let's not do the math. Let's actually draw it in. So we're gonna zoom in even more because I want to focus on his hand. We're basically just gonna click up here. The outside of it doesn't matter so much. It's the top and bottom I care about. So now we're gonna try to make this top. Oop, nope. Don't want to rotate. Want to make it just about sort of circular for us. Down like that. There we go. And we're gonna up the feathering. Still looks like it's on top of his hand. Can work with that. Okay. Can adjust the placement of it. That's better. Okay. Good start there. Sweet. All right. There's more we can do. Back to here. Let's work on our blend mode. Overlay takes out too much. Let's try again. Screens. Yeah, I think that still takes out too much. Lighten. Nope, same problem. If I go to burn, we're taking the whole thing out. So I want to be dodging's not too bad. Go back to normal. Yeah, dodging it might be the way to go, or just lowering the opacity. Linear dodge. Now that puts the contrast up too high. And then lighter color makes it okay. So let's start with color dodge. Let's start with that. Let's bring our view back to fit. Oh man, you really can't see it there. Okay, so now I'm gonna adjust it even more. Let's turn that track on so I can see it. All right, let's go back up to normal. Yeah, some of these just totally remove it. With normal, just bring the opacity down to about 75%. Maybe that's not, as a starting idea, that's not too bad. I can be happy with that. Okay, let's watch the scene. Now that we've spent an hour and a half working on it, and we have added 2 minutes to the movie, which is honestly a pretty good pace. Let's watch this scene. Let me back to the start here. Yeah, I really don't think we need that medium. B-roll's a better option. Yeah, that effect needs work. It's a temp effect. Make note, temp effect. Not finished, not final. I may have to shoot something myself. Worst things have happened.
And off.
yeah, so that's the scene. I think it's pretty good. That smoke effect, obviously, I'll continue to be embarrassed about forever. But temp temp cuts. That's something I can do that a whole lot more with that later. Um, can't stop been looking at this for too long because I'm sitting here being like, right, this scene seems like these moments seem like they're not still or long enough, and I'm sitting here being no, that's not the that's not the problem. Um, but yeah, so that's this scene rough cutted together. And Nora, thank you. I'm glad you were here for this because this was a scene that I was like I needed your guidance on. So awesome. Let's save that. Nora, I'm gonna render this out and send it to you, so you could be able to take a look at it in without a lag and without being on a screen within a screen, and we can talk about it more from there. But cool. So yeah, gonna go ahead and jump back to me. There we go. Yeah. So thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you, Evelyn and Mia. Your support means the world. Um, and yeah. So cool. So I'll render this out. Nora, I'll send this to you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Nora, we will schedule more times to do this. Uh, and I will be obviously, working on some of the smaller scenes when I'm not on stream, so there'll be more I can send to you. Um, but yeah. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining on this. And yeah, looking forward to doing more. Maria Elise is waving, so everybody make sure you wave back. Don't hurt her feelings. Um, that she hides behind my head apparently. Um, And yeah, it's almost 4 o'clock now. In probably about half an hour, I'm gonna jump back on here to do some photo editing. So if anyone wants to stick around for about an hour of photo editing, gonna be doing that as well with probably some stuff from Alaska. So anyway, all of that said, I'm gonna say premiere again because I do it compulsively. And yeah, we'll be back. We'll do more of this. We got a very cool and like I don't know, interesting short film on our hands here that is Nora. You said this when we watched the footage. It's just like we thought we captured something cool on set. Watching the footage, we know we captured something really cool with a lot of potential. Now editing it together, it's just this is coming together really nicely. So, all right, well everyone, on that note, stay safe, keep creating, keep making cool art, like share yourself, release the waves again. And yeah, be honest and create stuff and show it to people because that's I don't know the only possible reason we could be here. So, all right, be safe, take care.